Let's get more analysis now from Galip Dalay in Berlin. He's with the Al-Sharq Forum. Galip, thanks for joining us. We've long known that the U.S. and Turkey disagree over how to define the YPG, whether as a terrorist group or not. So why does seeing this visual image of a soldier wearing the YPG badge agitate Turkey so much more?
Well, because it's, as you said, it's more visual, it's more palpable, and also it is a step beyond. Because right now, it's not only not agreeing or disagreeing, not agreeing on how to denote the YPG. This is a step further, meaning that the U.S. is not shy about its relation with the YPG. U.S. is not anymore sensitive, because previously U.S. trying to pay attention to Turkey's concern and being much more sensitive towards Turkey. And to some time, the U.S. also tried to not to play this partnership in public that much. And this wearing of this patch shows that U.S. is no longer that secretive about its relation with the YPG, and it's also actually very clearly regards YPG as a partner in Syria, and no longer try to hide this from the public eyes. So that is what irritates Turkey the most.
Galip, do you think the U.S. working with the YPG now in Syria to defeat Daesh could actually backfire in the long run?
Well, one thing. If U.S. only works with the YPG in the Kurdish areas, then no, it will not backfire. But right now the trouble is that when you take the YPG to Raqqa, which is an Arab majority place, yes, there is like resentment, and there is resentment against ISIS. There is grievances against ISIS, but these people will not be very much happy to be liberated by a Kurdish group, mostly Kurdish group. So therefore, the U.S. should pay attention to the demographic composition of the area that it is trying to liberate. In Raqqa and in other parts of the Syria, where the Arab forms the majority, it makes much more sense to work with an Arab groups, because in the end, one of the factors that plays into the hands of the ISIS is that when the local population feels grievances vis-a-vis the U.S., vis-a-vis the region, and vis-a-vis the others. Here, the YPG falls within the category of the others. In this regard, going to trying to liberate as Arab area with non-Arab groups, I think yes, it will backfire, and that's why the U.S. current strategy, doesn't seem to be very sophisticated. It seems to be only focused on dealing with the current issue with a very short-term issues, not putting an order in place once this short-termism expires.
Okay, so it's not sophisticated, and it could prove to be just as two-faced with the YPG in the end, as Turkey accuses the U.S. of being right now. I mean, should Daesh ultimately be defeated in Syria, the U.S. could just change its position on the YPG again and label it a terrorist group for Turkey's sake.
Well, I don't think that the U.S. is going to label YPG as a terrorist organization, because U.S. has worked with YPG for too long and for too extensive. So it doesn't it's not going to be very easy for U.S. to say, well, now I'm done with the YPG and I will label it as a terrorist organization. So I don't think that the U.S. is going to change its stance on this regard. But what U.S. can, change is not to work with YPG in non-Kurdish areas. B, also not to trying to give more international legitimacy to YPG by very much openly working with the YPG. So here, the trouble is that right now, what U.S. needs to do is to balance its short-term interests, its short-term visions, with long-term and with mid to long-term strategy. And this is something U.S. seems to be lacking. But I don't see that U.S. is going to, I don't think that U.S. is going to denote YPG as a terrorist organization anytime soon, because right now, the U.S. #1 concern in Syria is ISIS, is Daesh. It sees everything through the lenses of Daesh. And in this regard, anyone fighting the Daesh, U.S. in one way or another sees as a legitimate force.
Okay, Galip, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us with that.